Yeah? Are you going to go to football with me and Patrick? Yeah?
Oh, just shut up.
You can't assume, can you? Yeah.
Politically correct, or whatever the word is.
So you can say here. No, I'm getting off next night anyway.
See what?
Just
What else?
that was very confusing.
We weren't happy with the outcome.
I don't know, just phone me.
What way is it?
It's just there.
If it was far away, where we're going to. Everything for money.
And they are very proud of this hospitality.
To watch it, it's fucking.
That is always our heart. And this is the same with the story. That's what we branch and really help. The helpful, balanced citizens we are in the world.
Nice for money.
But for those roots to continue and to flourish, we need to look after our children, our babies in Gaza and in Palestine. Babies in Gaza are the victims of a war of terror, a war of famine, and the consequences on their health is lifelong. Harry Burns, the previous CMO, the Chief Medical Officer of Scotland, did a great work on the health inequalities and how the closure of the shipyards in Glasgow affected the health of the Glaswegians. Certain postcodes in Glasgow will suffer all the complications post-surgery that other parts of Glasgow will not have. They will have early diabetes, early heart attacks. There will be a long list of medication. I saw this when I was watching the hospital. This is the real face.
Yeah, money.
Shall we have a look at? Yeah, I was going to around the corner. Okay.
walk.
Huh?
Walk.
You can't walk on the road. I might actually go to.
Hmm?
I might actually go
Why?
because.
Everyone is cutting here.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be something fun.
Why? So you don't like going on a walk?
Hmm?
Do you not like going on a walk?
No.
If you want, you can go and stay there.
Huh? If I want, I can go and stay there. No, that's boring.
Palestine will be free. Why?
What is going on with buses and this? Those kind of buses are so not even. So, what is the problem?
Back down there. No,
Yeah, I'm going to bus the city.
there's no bus going to the city. Just walk, you can walk back.
Walk.
Yeah, just say to her that, thing, that Abdullah wants to go back home. Abdullah, you can go. You can go. You can go back. Ask them if they go back to George Square. This is a top end.
Are you vlogging? Wait, yo, oh my god.
Sorry, this is how we can't vlog. I mean, like, I'm not vlog, but it's a walkie talkie. Where did you come?
We're going to the cinema sometime. Oh, yo, take that. No, that's like a sick.
Yo. I don't know, my dad buy it for me.
That's sick.
My dad bought it for me.
I see it. Other one comes and tries his luck, gets him. The other one gets up and hits him again. Yeah, that's fiction.
Coffee.
Yeah, I know, put me.
Taking that coffee?
Performers of the future. And let's hope that our artists have the same bravery to stand up and speak out as these children have, to support the cultural boycott and build a cultural intifada. Free Palestine! Well done everybody.
Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine. Free, free. Palestine.
Free, free. Free Palestine. Thank you so much, everybody. You were fabulous.
Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, young ladies. Really beautiful poetry. We are so proud of the young ones who really have started to look at what the world around them looks like and wanting to be part of the mechanism to fix it, because we do have a broken world that doesn't work for everyone, and we need to work very hard to make that equality, justice and freedom for all is guaranteed for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I would like to introduce Dr. Samreen, who will give us, with her colleagues, a few words about the updates on the medical situation in Palestine. As you can see, we say it's healthcare, not warfare. Healthcare, not warfare. Healthcare, healthcare. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We are the healthcare workers for Palestine, and we warmly welcome all of you to our vigil to commemorate the healthcare workers killed in Gaza, Palestine. Sadly, the relentless onslaught on the Palestinians is now day 176, with no end in sight. Despite the recent binding United Nations Security Resolution demanding a ceasefire, Israel has intensified its military onset into Rafah, the small border town where all the Palestinians in Gaza were ordered to take refuge. Where can they go for safety from here? Israel is now bombing more than 1.7 million civilians trapped in Rafah. This is Gaza's last place of refuge. A massacre is happening right now and the world remains silent. The three main hospitals, Al-Shifa Hospital, Nasser and Al-Amal hospitals in Gaza and their surrounding areas are currently under siege by Israeli forces. They've been attacking medical teams, patients and displaced Palestinians under heavy gunfire. Al-Shifa Hospital was the largest medical complex in Gaza. This hospital has been burned, bombed, shelled and besieged by Israel in broad daylight for 8 days in a row. The attack occurred on Monday 18th March at around 12 a.m. The hospital included 200 medical staff, including doctors, nurses, pharmacists, lab technicians, administrators and correspondents. There were nearly 280 sick, injured patients and large numbers of displaced families sheltering in this hospital. During the siege, electricity generators and oxygen supplies were destroyed. Everyone in the building was interrogated. Majority of healthcare workers were repeatedly interrogated, beaten, assaulted, tortured and stripped naked for long hours in the cold. Field executions were reported, with over 170 people reported killed. Dr. Wasim Mamani, among many healthcare workers, were deliberately shot by snipers after being released, resulting in grievous bodily injuries. More than 800 people have been detained. Dr. Bassam Al-Masri was a plastic surgeon at Al-Shifa Hospital. He was abducted on Tuesday. He'd been working tirelessly treating the wounded for 172 days while his family remained in northern Gaza. He used to ride his bicycle to the hospital every single day. His whereabouts remain unknown. Dr. Mohammed Zahid Al-Nono, who also worked at the hospital, refused to leave and insisted on continuing to treat the wounded. According to witnesses and media sources, he was executed by the Israeli occupation forces in front of his patients in retaliation. Only 60 of 200 hospital staff remain on duty, while 140 wounded patients are still left inside. They have no treatment. Their wounds are now infested with worms. There's no water, there's no electricity, there's no bathrooms. There were only 6 remaining doctors left. Bodies of countless executed individuals can be seen clearly in the hospital yard. It's feared that 16 doctors have been executed and the remaining doctors, the dozens, have been taken hostage and their whereabouts remains unknown. Footage from inside the hospital shows that this is now turning into a military base, with civilians, including the injured, the wounded patients, healthcare workers and families tied and blindfolded in corridors. Unprecedented atrocities, including rape, executions and torture, have been witnessed and reported from inside. Eyewitness accounts from Jamila Al-Hassi, who was also trapped, reveals that the Israeli occupation forces raped, kidnapped and executed women, pulled dead bodies from under the rubble to unleash their dogs to feed on them. She says they have trapped sick, injured children and they're burning people alive. Despite pleas to the Red Cross, with no food or water, help has not come. She describes the situation as tragic beyond words. She talks of hunger, thirst, displacement, bombardment and mass killings. Those trapped inside the hospital say, we only have 2 options to die right now, either starve to death or be shot or bombed to death. The Israeli occupation forces have now set fire to the hospital, with more than 150 wounded civilians, along with their families and medical staff, still remaining trapped. Under the cover of dozens of airstrikes, Israeli occupation forces vehicles have attacked Al-Nasser hospital. Tanks are now surrounding the hospital and causing heavy bombardment. the Palestine Red Crescent Society announced that Al Amal Hospital has been decommissioned and forced to stop functioning 40 days after the occupation forces forced the evacuation of the hospital staff and the wounded. They've completely barricaded the entrance. According to Dr. Ghassan Busita, hospital attacks are now the litmus test for the new normal. Is this going to be the new normal now? Hospitals were supposed to be protected by international law. Healthcare Workers Watch hold the Israeli occupation forces accountable for the ongoing genocide and brutal atrocities against the Palestinian healthcare workers. Enough is enough. This must end now. Thank you.
Good morning or good afternoon. So as Simreen said, we are the healthcare workers for Palestine. On Land Day, it's a chance to reflect on the systematic robbing of land, life, health, including mental health, and the wealth of the Palestinian people by Israel. I would like to focus on the mental health of healthcare workers today, which has been tested severely over the past 6 months. Doctors in Al-Shifa Hospital spoke to the media about the emotional struggles they endured whilst working to save lives when their colleagues had been targeted and killed. This was during the Israeli bombing campaign back in 2021, during the height of COVID. We can't imagine how they are coping now, and in the worst incursion ever, and wondered if these doctors have survived the daily horror of life in Gaza. Professor Yara Assi, who is from the West Bank, wrote a guest essay in the New York Times in February. She quoted a Médecins Sans Frontières doctor's text, which read, "We will die, all of us, hopefully soon enough to stop the suffering that we are living through every single second." Yara talks about the normalization of trauma in people exposed to chronic, repeated conflict. Not much scientific data exists on healthcare workers' mental health issues in conflict zones such as Gaza, but we know that strain results in burnout, depression, anxiety and PTSD, which in Palestine is CTSD. There is no post, it is continuous trauma. There is no let-up. As a healthcare worker, how do you cope psychologically if you are unable to administer any pain relief to hundreds of people suffering and dying on bloodied hospital floors? How do you cope when you have to remove hundreds of mangled limbs with a ghillie saw? That's essentially a segment of barbed wire and no anaesthetic. How must you feel painstakingly removing shrapnel from traumatised children and dealing with horrific, complex facial trauma with first aid kits? How do you cope with a room full of silent, malnourished babies, too weak to cry and waiting to die? How can you focus when you are hungry, thirsty, overworked and sleep deprived? How do you focus when the noise of bombing every 30 seconds, day and night, is coupled with a constant threat of IOF invasion? Please listen now to the words of Dr. Ahmed Moghrabi, spoken on Instagram last month. He is the head of reconstructive surgery in Nasser Hospital in Gaza.
I can't describe what is going on here. It's a massacre, what is going here. The entire families are whipped out actually. I developed like psychological disorder to see these children actually they are burned till bone. They are burned till bone children. It's horror what is going here. My God, I hope this will end soon. Anybody, I don't know if anybody could help us. If you hear me, actually I thought we are alone here in this world. We are living in big prison under strict siege and nobody listen to us. Everybody listen to Israeli narrative. Just listen to Palestinian narratives. Actually Israel is supported by the whole world. You give Israel these mass destruction weapons. but on the other hand, nobody gives us even food. Here I can't find food, clean water. Me as a surgeon, I can't find clean water to drink. I'm a human being. I want to live in peace. I want a better future for my children. Please, please stop this war against us. Please stop genocide against us. Stop this war, please, please. I beg you.
Dr. Maghrabi references having developed psychological trauma due to treating children with horrific burns. You can hear the distress in his voice caused by the entire situation. Whilst healthcare workers deal with horrific patient trauma, they also have to cope with the fear that their loved ones could be next, or worse, they are already bereaved. Psychological terror is another factor in chronic traumatic stress for healthcare. The paramedics Yusuf Zaino and Ahmed Al-Madoun, who tried to rescue Hind Rajab, the little girl trapped in her car with her murdered family, were brutally murdered by the IOF despite getting military clearance to attend. This will have heightened anxiety and fear in the Red Crescent ambulance service. The beating and humiliation of another paramedic colleague witnessed by WHO and the Red Crescent colleagues left him too traumatised to speak. Many healthcare workers, as we've mentioned every week in our vigils, have been tortured for weeks or months, then released. You have to ask yourself, why are they tortured and not killed? The intent appears to be to warn others that this fate may await them, to cause further anxiety and stress and fatigue, to hamper their performance and to intimidate. In other words, to mess with brilliant minds. The exact toll on healthcare workers and civilian mental health will be unknown for years. It adds to the psychological suffering of 7 decades of occupation, dehumanization and settler colonization. Despite this, healthcare workers unbelievably continue to show resilience, strength, courage, dignity and humanity. Who can forget Dr. Amira Al-Asuli throwing down her coat and rushing into the midst of sniper fire to save an injured patient in the grounds of Nasser Hospital? She was labelled the real Wonder Woman. It is vital that healthcare workers receive this support in a bid for them to heal so they can heal others. These crimes against humanity must end. A permanent ceasefire must be enforced. Free humanity, free our colleagues, and allow justice and peace to prevail. Free Palestine. Thank you.